my circle spinning now. Hello, Sabrina. Hello,
Of course,
hello.
she called me
Hello.
Debrina anyway, but it's okay.
Hello, Sexy Soixante.
Yes,
Uh,
sexy
Sexy
girls on here,
Soixante.
live and
Hello.
in color.
Yes, and in color. And it's great to have you on again. This time, it's not a test run. This one is, as they say, for real. And the 22nd of November is promised to everyone. So we're going to have a really interesting conversation in the series of In Conversations with
Now,
Sexy
let me ask you a
Soixante.
question. Are we on Facebook as well? Are
We
we?
are only on Facebook at the moment.
Okay,
Because YouTube sent me a message saying
right, that it has
I
to be
have I have
24
to
hours
give
in advance.
24 hours. So I, you know, so one platform is better than none, I suppose. Yeah. Okay. All right then. So I'm going to hand this.
I'm wondering if I can be on my Facebook page with you. I don't know. I guess
I
it would have
don't
to be
know.
a link. I guess it would have to be kind of like a link or something.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
kind of. Don't
Don't
worry.
worry.
Don't worry. Oh, okay.
We'll
Okay.
be doing this again. We're going to be each other's UK American connection.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So
Okay.
you've had an interesting week or so. So I'm going to leave this to you to
Okay.
speak to everybody about your week. All I can say is that I'm very grateful and happy that you're here. Fire
Yeah,
away.
me too. So
Yeah.
welcome everyone. Interestingly enough, as we know what's going on in the world today, I was contracted. I contracted COVID-19. So, I get these questions, which I think are very crazy. Um, when I tell people the WHO organization, World Health Organization, cannot tell anybody what came first, the chicken or the egg.
Mhm.
Like, really?
Yeah.
How can you tell me? How can you even ask me a question like that? But
Mm.
needless to say, because I'm active, number
Mm.
one,
Mhm.
I go to Whole Foods. I go to Best Buy. I go to Costco's. I go to the post office.
Mm.
I go to my mailbox. I sign for a package in my building. Okay. I ride the elevator with people that are 6 feet away from me, but I still have to press the button to get to my floor.
Mm.
I still have to press the button.
Right.
I have to get in my car. I have to get out of my car. I have to use when I go to Whole Foods, they have the little, I don't use the push cart, but I do use the little basket. I do wipe it down. This thing lives on surfaces. How long? I'm not a doctor. I'm not a viral technician. I don't know anything about all of that. All I know is that I do is the best I can under the circumstances, and I still got it.
Mm.
Now, basically, I'm a healthy person. I don't get headaches. I don't catch colds. I've never had a flu shot. I have never had the pneumonia shot ever. I've never had a reason to. I actually do clinical trials for pharmaceutical companies. One company in particular, Pfizer, which is on the cutting edge right now with a antidote, and I am so excited. Which I wasn't at first. I have to be honest with you. I really, because unless they're paying me, I'm not interested in trying out any drug for anybody. But because I'm 65 years old, and because I did get COVID, I have a whole together different perspective on life and antidotes. I was going through the list of when I was a little girl, when we had the polio sugar cube that we had to take in school. I remember we had the polio. We had to take the mump shot, the measles shot, the chicken pox. We still have malaria that still kills people. We have HIV, we have hepatitis A, we have B, we have C, we have herpes, we have gonorrhea, we still have syphilis. We live among these diseases, these viruses, this bacteria, and they're not going anywhere. So what we need to do is to be cognizant of our surroundings, follow the CDC guidelines, and wait until we get a vaccine.
Right. Okay, then. So let me just tell everybody who you are. You are Sexy Soixante. That's your brand. You are a very talented lady. You are a model, an actress, an artist, as in painting. You're also a writer. You write poetry. You are a model. You are a number of things. And I invited you for an interview so that people can hear what you've got to say about your life and all the professions that you run or manage or act, all the roles you play. She Has Not Finished Yet is a lifestyle brand for pro-aged women from 50 years old upwards. It's called She Has Not Finished Yet because it is for women who have not finished. It's for women who have not finished. They are continuing with their lives, living in their greatness, doing wonderful things. And Sexy Soixante has been chosen for interview because I found you very empowering and very inspiring. I mean, you're even a brand ambassador for an organization. There are many things that you're doing now. It is important as well that you share your experience because you actually were in hospital. You've only just recently been, back home, discharged from hospital, what, 48 hours? Or
Yeah. Thursday. I came home Thursday.
Thursday, yeah. So you're still really at the stage where you're relaxing and you need to keep yourself very well and obviously really exercise the safe distancing. So yes, it would be interesting to hear what you've got to say because it is stated, I don't have the statistics here, but it is stated that people from around 63 years old are the most vulnerable. But you went into hospital, you had terrible symptoms, you had pneumonia type symptoms. I was desperate to communicate with you, and it was quite difficult. And although I communicated with you very briefly on the phone, you could not communicate. So it's great to have you here now. And so, yeah, it would be nice to hear. Well, it's not going to be nice to hear it, but
what's nice to hear is that I can tell the story.
No, you can tell the story. Yes, okay. Right.
That's the nice thing because there's a lot of people who've gone into the hospital that have not made it out.
No, they have not made it out.
Well, they did make it out, but they didn't make it out talking and
no. Yeah. Okay. All right. I mean, I was shocked, I must admit, that you were in hospital. You took that photograph of you in the hospital bed. Yeah, so if you'd like to state your experience.
Well, let me just say that thank you very much. We met. You texted me or emailed me, and I says, "Oh, somebody wants to interview me." maybe I'm a little important, and some of the questions that you asked were really good stuff. Sexy Soixante. Where did Sexy Soixante come from? I have to say, at the beginning of the year, which I've been doing for the last couple of years, is taking photos and posting them. Because I feel that I want to chronicle my life. I want to chronicle you know, I'm relatively attractive, and the baby boomers, we are the largest population, and we don't get represented enough, I didn't think. And I felt that I wanted to be one of those people to represent the baby boomers.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, I'm going to take photo. I'm going to take a photo shoot. I got a photographer. I didn't like the photos after the fact, but it was okay.
Mm.
And then I started getting other photographers inboxing me saying, "We want to take your picture. We think that you're fabulous." And I'm like, "Okay." And that's where it started. A gentleman contacted me, says, "You could be a Silver Fox model." I said, "Really?" He said, "Yes." I went on his page and I says, "Oh my goodness, he's hot." He's a Silver Fox model. I was like, okay, I want to be like you when I grow up.
Mm.
And then we started, contacting, talking to one another.
Yeah.
Next thing I know I put together a photo shoot, and I asked him would he take the photos with me. He said he was a little leery at first because I never did it before, and he's used to dealing with professionals.
Right.
And I said, "I'm a professional." Didn't know. And long story short, short story shorter, I have a friend that had a restaurant in New York, a very popular restaurant. He gave me the keys. He says, "Do whatever you want." From that photo shoot, I got into a magazine, a centerfold of a magazine that's comparable to Essence magazine on the West Coast.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then some other magazine contacted me, which I've declined to be in that magazine. Sorry, but I didn't like it. So
You had your valid reasons, because once this live is finished, I will be posting a range of your photos on Facebook so that people can see how very photogenic you are, and how amazing you look in your photos. Your photos are brilliant. So what is great is that you started what, 63 years old? Did you start?
I would say I started this year
Yeah.
mainly, but I did start at about 63.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
So
I wasn't thinking of my age. I wasn't
no,
thinking of being a model. I wasn't
no.
thinking of anything. I just wanted to take pictures because I always like taking good photos.
At the time, but you are now a professionally, you are a model now, just from those photos alone. And yeah, that's absolutely brilliant. So any women out there who feel that they'd like to have a stab at modeling, there are some model agencies, aren't there, that because although you're Silver Fox, if you can explain what Silver Fox
Okay,
means,
well,
by
the
the way.
Silver Fox is just a movement. It's
Just a
just a
movement.
movement. It's
Hmm.
not an agency per se.
Mm.
Uh, there are, it's just a movement going,
Mm.
the gray hair movement. There's
Yeah,
just so many different movements where
yeah,
women are over 50,
yeah.
that they're graying, they're not dyeing their hair anymore.
Mm.
They, they've surrendered to
To nature.
and and they're doing a wonderful job. They look
Yeah,
great.
I have
They're,
seen some women. Yeah.
they're doing their makeup absolutely stunning.
Mm.
Uh, age appropriate stuff.
Yeah,
The clothing, forget about it. We could wear whatever we want.
yeah, yeah. That's wonderful. Are there many model agencies out there? I mean, I know there is one called Grey Modeling, because I interviewed a man who's 83 years old, and he was modeling for Grey Modeling Agency. I think they're based in the UK. I'm not sure, but he's modeling for other agencies because he works, around Europe. What are the main agencies in the US?
I haven't even gotten to that point yet because
Okay.
I just got a magazine that said we want you in. I have another magazine. As a result of the COVID, I had 2 photo shoots, one in Atlantic City
Mm-hmm.
and one in Atlanta. Of course,
Mm.
they were canceled, but they're putting
Yeah.
me, one is putting me on the cover of a magazine.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Wonderful.
I also have an OnlyFans page. So
Yeah.
that's a conversation that it's in itself
Yes. Even
absolutely
yeah,
wonderful.
even I haven't seen that OnlyFans page. I will after this. Well, yeah, because that's a little bit more adult. Is that right?
Yes,
That's
it's
adult.
very
Yeah.
adult.
Yes.
Although I don't show everything.
No. No.
I do show TNA. I do
Yeah.
say TNA because I think there's a lot more beauty in TNA than just looking at a vagina. Like
Right. Yes. Yes. Yes.
I don't
What is
really
TNA exactly for those who don't know?
TNA is tits and ass.
Okay. Sorry. Right. Okay. So you've all heard what it means. Yeah, but you're very graceful. You're not pornographic,
No,
which is very, so that's, I mean, when you look at, I don't know the names of them, but when you look at the old paintings of the ladies laying on chaises longs, they have their breasts and their big tummies, and like, yeah, very graceful, so
yes,
you
and
are
I
the
would
same.
consider myself one of those types of
Yeah,
graceful.
yeah,
We rented a Airbnb where we were going to take the full range of the house
yeah,
to to show me in the bathroom, in the kitchen,
right.
and in the bedroom, just
Mm,
nice stuff, really
mm,
artists. So when I look at the human body, I see beautiful. I see beautiful.
mm.
That's what I see.
Yes, and that's why it's important that we should take care of the human body.
This is
You
true.
know, yeah.
Although outside, the outside of your body has nothing on the inside of your body.
Mm, mm, mm-hmm.
Because I think that even with the COVID, because I took care of myself over the years, that's what saved me to
Yes,
even be able to talk to you right now. Because
yes,
although I don't feel fiery, but I don't feel so sluggish where I can't hold a conversation. I'm sitting down. I do have a headache, which is one of the side effects
yes,
of, of COVID. I do have a little mucus, a little
yeah.
cough, which is good because COVID is a dry cough.
Mm,
I did have pneumonia. Now, let me
mm,
just say, when I went into the hospital because the lines were so long for me to take the COVID test.
mm,
And I was so exhausted standing on the line. I said, you know what? I can't do this. So I would get up every morning a little bit earlier than the day before so that I can be on the line earlier than everybody else. It still didn't work.
mm,
So my neighbor says, just go to the hospital.
mm,
And I had to say the week prior, I did have a headache and I had some things going on. But because I didn't really have a reference point, because I don't get headaches,
mm.
never had a pneumonia shot. I've never had the flu shot. I very rarely catch a cold. So I really didn't have a reference point as to what's going on with me.
Mm.
When I went to the hospital, they did an x ray and they saw that I had pneumonia.
Mm.
And
Wow.
there was like, then for some reason, my heart rate went up to 178 beats per minute, which
Mm.
is considered
Right,
stroke territory because the average heartbeat is 68 beats per minute.
right. And you were over double that.
Yes.
Yes.
So they
Mm.
had to give me some kind of injection to get my heart
Slow
rate down
down the heart.
to
Yeah.
68, which was a
Mm.
very scary situation, I have to admit. I really didn't even realize the intensity of it until it got me down to 68.
Right. Mhm.
And then they did do 2 different COVID tests and it did come back positive.
Right.
And then they found some other viral stuff going on inside, which I didn't even realize that that I had diarrhea. I didn't even realize it because I didn't know. So the
Mm,
diarrhea had gotten into my, as I'm going to the bathroom, not even knowing it's going to the front of me,
mm,
and that
mm.
gave me some other viral stuff.
Yes, yes. Because I can remember when we had the first lockdown here in the UK, um, there was stocks of toilet paper, toilet tissue became rare. Everybody was buying toilet tissues for the same reason, that the diarrhea, and people were stocking up, and the shops just ran out. So yeah, I know it's one of the symptoms,
Yeah, but
unfortunately.
I was unaware, and not that I'm not up on the COVID, um, all the different little things about it. It's just
Mm,
that it didn't affect me. I was still going on auditions.
yeah.
I was doing photo shoots.
Is that not called the symptomatic? Like you have the symptoms, you have it, but they were not showing.
Well, obviously, probably not. I don't know
Symptomatic.
because I
Yeah.
didn't have any symptom. I was
Yeah.
asymptomatic. Um,
Asymptomatic. Yeah.
yes, but needless to say, I probably had it and didn't even know it.
No. Yeah.
And I feel bad about it because I was around people and I was
Yeah.
probably sharing it and didn't
Yeah.
even.
Yeah. But how
I'm
how
sorry,
can
everybody. I'm
how
sorry.
yeah, that's I know, but that's not your fault, because how can you know if you don't know? You don't know what you don't know.
Exactly.
So that's just
Exactly.
one of the things. I'm just so
So
glad that you went to the hospital just for a routine test.
just
That's
a
it.
routine. It's just
And
a
you were
routine.
feeling rough,
So,
and then
so what it lets me know is that the universe was not ready to have me.
no, no,
It
not
says,
really.
we got some stuff to do.
Yeah.
We got stuff for you to do.
Oh,
And
that's brilliant. That's brilliant.
yeah.
How do you feel? What's your outlook in life now? Has it changed, or are you business as usual?
Well, I would say that for the most part, it's the same.
It's the same. Yes. Okay.
However,
Mm,
I will take things a little bit more seriously that
yeah.
needs to be taken seriously
Mm-hmm. Okay.
because I am not going to stop my life because of COVID.
Of course not. Of course not.
You want to go to Tanzania. We talked about that. I want to go to
Yeah.
Tanzania too. You know,
Yeah.
I want to go to
Yeah.
South Africa. I want to go to Thailand. I want to go
Mm-hmm.
to Dubai. I want
Yeah.
to go to
Yeah.
Australia.
Of course.
And I'm going to go.
Yes.
And but I want to make sure that I'm safe and I want to make sure the people around me are safe as well.
Yes.
I will make
Yes.
sure that 2021 will be the year where I am getting all my shots and all the stuff that I need to travel with in order.
Yes. In order. Yes. Yes. Wow. Well, that there is talk anyway in the UK that in 2021 we may still have to have the social distancing, and you know uh, all kinds
Excuse me.
of things that the government is putting in
I don't
place.
see why they would stop that. They have to keep that.
They
They
have to
have,
keep it, of course.
they have
Yeah,
to keep
they have to keep it. Yeah.
we still have
So
everything. Everything is still here. All
yeah,
the diseases that were here from tuberculosis,
yeah,
polio.
they're still here. They're still here.
People
Yeah.
still die from polio. People
Yes.
still die from malaria.
Yeah.
People still die from gun, syphilis. Um,
Yes. Yeah.
still sterilizes people.
Yeah.
Um, so these diseases are going to be here. We're,
Yes.
we're living amongst them, and we're
Yeah.
going to live amongst them.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just that they just keep getting stronger and
And
stronger.
stronger and mutating, and oh boy,
Yeah,
yeah, they're outsmarting the doctors,
yes.
and,
And I'm
and well,
saying,
not even the doctors so much, but the pharmacists, the chemists.
yes,
Out,
because I don't know. I mean, I don't want to say this. I don't want to say that it's man-made, but
no, 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 there's no. Because remember, this in conversations with, it does have, how shall I put it? Yeah, it does have its non-negotiables, and that is, but no talks on politics, religion,
Right. So, but I mean,
any of the sensitive subjects.
right. I'm staying away from all of that. It's just like on my radio show, which we could talk about briefly. I tell people I don't do religion.
Yeah.
I don't do politics.
No.
And I'm not doing LGBTQI.
No.
Staying away from that.
Yes. Those are all very sensitive subjects. Those subjects can be discussed in private with people, So what I was going to say is, quite interestingly, you mentioned your radio, and I was going to move on to that, because what I thought was really wonderful, this was your second show, and I was shocked when you were on the phone to me. We didn't speak for long, but you said,
it was actually the third one, because they did one last week for me.
That's right. They did it for you, because I remember it was a man who took your place.
Right.
And I was thinking, when you were saying to me, your voice was slightly hoarse, and I said, so you're not going to do your show? And you said, yes. And I was shocked. You're still going to do your show? And you said, yes, and I'm like, whoa, I hope she's going to be okay. So because of the time difference, I struggled to stay awake, but I made sure to stay awake. I thought, I must listen to her. I must listen to her. And it was not the kind of show that I thought it was going to be. And it was just so wonderful to hear you talking about life. And there was so much wisdom there. So really, all the upbeat talking and all the music and all of that I was expecting to hear, it wasn't about that. Once you started talking, I then really started to concentrate on what you were saying, and I thought it was really interesting. So did you get any feedback from that from anybody else?
I haven't talked to the director yet. He hasn't said anything to me, but he didn't have to do a lot of editing, because I talked straight through.
Okay.
And I'm learning, when you talk into the mic, there's a lot of, all this kind of stuff, and it wasn't there. I don't even think I had the energy to even push out any extra stuff. But so he'll let me know. I didn't even ask, because I heard it on the show. So. And I'm listening to it, and it sounds fine to me.
Sounds fine. Okay, that's brilliant. So when you go back on this Friday, just let it is on the actual website,
WNJR.radio.com.
Radio.com, and you are on every Friday, 4 o'clock EST. Yeah. In the afternoon, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, EST. Now, why was I having problems staying awake? Mind you, I do have very strange sleeping patterns. So that's probably why I struggled to stay awake that night, but I did, so at least I listened, and I was happy about that. So,
and let's just say that the radio show is, pro-aged, basically pro-aged women as well.
Yeah.
And, it's more of a motivational, inspiring platform for women. You can talk about anything, because we are everything.
Yeah, we are.
We're in every facet. You mentioned something in one of your questions. Is there a difference between being in the 20s and 30s and 40s in modeling? It really isn't.
Yeah.
It really isn't. I mean, if you have a nice body, if you want to be on Sports Illustrated, which I do,
yes,
that's my goal. If I want to do whatever it is I want to do with my body, whether I want to, do lingerie, if I want to do gowns, if I want to do bathing suits, if I want to do sportswear, athletic wear, I can do whatever it is I
Yeah,
want.
yeah.
I
And
represent a brand.
that's it. That's it. And that is it. She has not finished yet. You embody that. Yeah. And there are women who live in families who families do not want the women to actually be outspoken and free and explore their lives. They want to feel safe knowing that that woman is at home taking care of the family, which is wonderful. But that woman may have a burning desire to do something, yeah, whether it be ballroom dancing or whether it be going out on a marathon run and so on. And I think that people fear, um, I suppose for very good reasons, um, fear that they are overdoing it and they're no, no, you're too old for that now, and no, no, you shouldn't be, you know.
Well, it's funny. It's funny you should say that because I did get some backlash from catching COVID. Someone made a statement, more or less, your lifestyle is too active.
Oh, they're blamed it on your lifestyle. Okay.
And
But
I'm saying, okay, but um, I was just doing regular stuff. I wasn't,
mm,
I mean, although my regular stuff may not be regular for other people,
mm,
doing an commercial or doing a music video.
mm, mhm.
For me, that's kind of like a normal thing.
Yeah, yeah,
But I'd still do regular things. Like I
yeah,
mentioned, I go to the supermarket and I go
yeah,
to the post office and I'm
yeah.
gonna interact with people.
Of
There's
course.
no way that I can say I'm gonna stay home
No,
and do what? Wash
that's
my
right.
hands from the time I wake up in the morning to the
Mm,
time I go to sleep. Like really?
yeah,
Are you serious?
yeah,
Um, I anything that I do involves people.
yeah. Of course, of course.
I mean, even when I do my painting, although it's not anyone there, but still I'm interacting. I got paints, I got brushes,
Mm,
and God forbid that I left the paint somewhere and it got some COVID on it. I don't
yeah.
know.
Mm, mm, I
You
know.
know,
Yeah, but it's great that you've got a very good attitude because um, here in the UK, a lot of people are really down and depressed about it all, you know.
really.
And yeah, oh gosh, yes, they are. And so it's just great to hear your attitude. It's quite positive about it.
Excuse me. Attitude is a lot.
Yes,
However,
of course, of course.
I was talking to someone the other day and just being realistic.
Mm, mm,
Being realistic is a little different
okay.
from being optimistic,
Yes.
being motivational, and
Mm,
all that stuff. Now, I'm just not a down person. So, like I said, I see the glass half full all the time. I never see
all
it
the
half
time.
empty.
Yeah.
So I don't even know what that looks like.
Right.
I
Yeah.
don't know what that looks like. I
Hmm.
see good in everything,
Hmm.
and it hurts me to my heart to even think that I could not touch someone, to give
Mm,
someone a hug,
I know.
kiss someone. It's
Yeah.
that to
Well,
me is so much more
yeah.
painful.
Yeah. Well, it was so. What happened today for me was I went out for a walk as I do every day, and I saw my neighbor. And as my neighbor was approaching me, I was with the mask, and he was with the mask, and I thought, oh my gosh, I was thinking, yeah, I was thinking, oh my gosh, and then we
Wow.
were keeping the distance even with the masks on. And even I was thinking, oh, how sad. And when you're speaking to people and, even their facial expressions is part of the conversation. Yeah. I couldn't see his facial expressions because he's covered with this mask, you know. And and all I can see was the eyes, and
Yeah, like even in my building before this happened, people, they don't even look at you anymore.
no, no,
Which is,
yes,
they're just going to wherever it is they're going. They're not even
yeah,
looking at you. And I'm like, that's sad.
that's sad. I know. Yeah, but I felt sad today when I spoke to my neighbour, and
So you did speak
I'm
to him.
smiling under the mask, but he can't see the
To him.
smile.
You said hi. You said hi to him.
Yeah, we stopped in the street, and I saw him from a distance. He saw me from a distance, and we were both fixing our masks because we knew we were approaching each other. And even I was saying to myself, "This is so sad." And then, and then when we approached each other, he kept his distance, and I kept my distance, and we were just talking to each other from this distance, and it was awful. And like I'm saying, that's when I realized how important facial expressions are, because you know I'm smiling at him, but he can't see my smile because it's covered in a mask, that sort of thing. So I just thought it was really sad. I mean, we didn't even speak for very long. Even he said, oh well, might as well get on, because it was quite hard. I mean, even though we stopped and we spoke and we were happy to see each other, oh, hello, how are you? It was rather sad, really. And I am looking forward to the day when we don't have to keep wearing the masks. I am, really.
Well, I don't really mind the masks as much as the disease, the virus.
Okay. Yeah, that's more. Yeah, that is more.
Because if I have to wear it, I'm going to wear the mask.
Yeah, but what I actually mean is, I'm really looking forward to the day when there isn't a need to wear the mask. I'm looking forward to the day when the COVID has been completely wiped out.
2022.
2022. Oh gosh. So I've got 2021 to go through all of this. Well.
Yeah, I think 2021 is going to be less challenging, though, I think.
Than 2020, yeah. Well, I mean, the vaccines are meant to be coming out next month, aren't they? So, I did some research, and we've had pandemics thousands of years ago. We're always having cycles of pandemics all the time.
Exactly.
So thousands.
This is really nothing. This is really nothing new.
No, it isn't. It isn't. I was reading about the old ships, when the men, came off the old ships and then infected another country with diseases. In the old 16th century, yeah, it was quite interesting, and how pandemics were dealt with. Many years ago. We're still having pandemics now. So it helped me to understand, that this is all part of life. Like it or leave it, it's all part of life.
Yeah.
So
it's a part of life.
Yeah.
It's just that it just took us by storm.
Oh yeah, as all pandemics do. And I'm not being sarcastic when I say this, hence why they're called pandemics.
Exactly.
If they could be, sort of controlled before they get, before they multiply, and so it's made me want to really. I mean, I enjoy life anyway. I love life. I enjoy life, but it's really made me even more determined to enjoy even more life. Yeah.
I have to agree with that as well.
Yeah. So, are you getting tired?
No.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Okay.
Because we still haven't talked
about a hospital a few days. Mm-hmm.
We still haven't talked about my name and where it came from.
Yes. The Sexy Soixante is your brand name. Let's hear about it.
Yes. So, I'm creative, of course. We all know that.
Yeah.
And I like the French language.
Mm.
And so I looked up, I said, I definitely got to have sexy in my name.
Yeah.
Got to be
It's,
sexy in there somewhere. But when I looked up Sexy 60, it was taken,
oh,
the
yeah.
number. And then the sexy, the word 60 was taken. And I
Mm,
says, oh, what am I going to do now? And I say, okay, let's look at Spanish, the Latin. And it
yeah.
says, Sesente.
Yeah.
I hear
It,
some backlash here.
yeah, there is a little bit
Okay. So I said Sesente. I was like, nah, I don't like Sesente. So
yeah.
I said Swazant. And I'm like,
Well
yeah,
done.
I
Yes.
love Swazant. So and that's when I just took it. I looked it
Okay.
up. It wasn't taken, and it was mine. And I'm
Voila, yours. Yeah,
yeah.
great. And
So
that is literally the way it came. It
that's
wasn't,
exactly.
yeah, okay. And that's lovely.
It was
That's a
no
nice one.
rhyme. It was no reason. It just
Yeah,
happened.
it happened. That's right. Just looking for a name. I like that. I like that. Oh, that's very nice. So there are some other questions that are on my. How many questions did I ask you? Was it 20?
A lot.
which will appear in the blog post.
Did you
So
have some more that you know right off the back?
did I what?
Do you have any questions right off the back that from the list?
Yeah, I mean questions like I really, really love the story. You'll have to tell it again, I'm afraid. About how you were brought up, where you were from.
Oh, okay. So,
That's a great story.
well, first of all, let me just say that I've been in the school system for 28 years,
Mm-hmm.
off and on, as a substitute teacher, as an English teacher, as a social studies teacher. I love history.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been the teacher's pet because
Okay.
I think my mother dressed me so nicely, and the teachers just loved. And I was such a little girl, I always wore dresses, and they always treat me nice because I was smart.
Right.
And all teachers, even me, you always like a smart kid
Right.
who follow directions, that does what you want them to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my mother wasn't the most educated woman, but she knew what she wanted for her children.
Mm-hmm.
And so I grew up in the public school system, and I always was like the teacher's monitor. I was always the board eraser. When it came time for penmanship, I was the one with the best penmanship. I just always had those good little roles that I can always go back to.
Mm.
Um, and of course, growing up in Brooklyn, we had they started to bust us out into the white community. I don't know if it was good or bad. The education was good, but the kids were very mean. They chased us home with bats, and
Mm.
and they just treated us like such crap, you know.
Mm. Mm.
Um, and I was on the cheerleading. I did the cheerleading. I was always outgoing. So
Yes. Yeah.
anything that involved me being out, having fun, doing stuff, that was me.
That was
I
you.
mean,
You were there. You were there. And I like your name combination. I'm not talking about Sexy Soixante. I'm talking about the other name, the combination, how that came about. I loved that story.
you're talking about Debrina Helm.
Yes, I loved how your name came about.
Okay, so and when my mom was pregnant with me,
Mm.
my dad was in the service.
Yeah.
He subsequently drowned, and his two best friends took care of my mom when she
Mm.
was pregnant with me. One was named Dobby, and the
Mm.
other name was Paul. And my mother named me after them,
Yeah.
Dabrina Paul.
Sabrina Hall. That's
Paul
so
Bettany.
lovely. Yeah, that's
And I
so
love my
great.
name. I love my name. It's not that I don't like to use my name. It's just that I just like to keep things separate.
Of course, yeah, your brand is your brand and your personal name is your personal name. Yes, yes. So, do you see any of those two men at all? Are they still
No,
around? No.
no,
Okay. Okay.
no. I hear bits and pieces of the story, um, but you know,
Mm.
that was then, this is now,
And people drift.
yeah. And I was really raised in, born in Charleston, South Carolina.
Right.
So, but I was raised in Brooklyn, New York.
Mm. Hmm.
Went to college and
Yeah.
high school,
Yeah.
graduated, and all
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. So, going back to modeling now,
What's
if you've got anything booked, you're just going to have to wait for this
Oh yeah,
pandemic.
well, they've already been booked and they've been canceled.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and the thing about it is, it's okay
Mm.
because I'm
So,
not going anywhere.
no. Hmm.
I'm
Hmm.
really not. There's so much work to do. Now they have stories of people that had COVID. They want to interview people. They're paying them thousands of dollars to tell their
Okay.
story.
To tell their story. Oh.
Yeah. So I mean, there's plenty money. There's plenty money out there.
They're saying there isn't. They're saying there isn't money out there.
There's
But I know
plenty,
there's plenty. I know there's plenty.
plenty money out there,
Yeah,
honey.
I know. I know. I know.
Because people are willing to pay for what it is that they want.
Yes, of course. Yes. The ones who have got it.
Even when I was in the hospital, I made money while I was in the hospital.
Oh, that's interesting. Tell me how. Or it's up
Well,
to you.
I did a commercial. I did a Biden commercial prior to me going into the hospital.
Okay.
And then they paid me.
Yeah.
And then I did a music video. I played somebody's mother
Mm-hmm.
in a video.
Right.
They paid me
Yes.
while I was in the hospital.
Right.
So I did
Yeah.
the work and I got paid.
Yeah. Sure. Sure.
I rented an Airbnb for my OnlyFans page,
Mm-hmm.
and because of the disclosure inside of the contract, I was able to get my money back.
Right. That's good.
So
So
I got
you're
my
in.
money back.
Yeah, it's just in hospital. All this money is coming from all different directions. What do we call that? Multiple income streams.
Yes, definitely, and I
Yeah.
definitely am down with that.
Yes. Yes. Um,
Um, there are so many things to do out here. I
yes.
mean, even just with the radio show and getting sponsors.
Mm.
I already have a law firm that's interested in sponsoring me on the
Oh,
radio
that's
show.
great. That's great. That's great. Okay. So yes, I am ready to ask you what next. You do the acting, you do the commercials, you do the magazines, you do, you know, the artist. You've got a book publishing soon, haven't you? You've got your book of words
Poetry.
and poetry being published soon. Um, what else do you have planned to do?
Well, I have a reality show that was put on hold, of course,
Hmm.
because at the beginning of the year is when I interviewed for a reality show,
Yeah.
and it's for women over 65.
Oh, over 65. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So, of course, everything was put on hold. So I'm
Yeah.
just waiting for that, and maybe next year it'll come back.
Hmm.
It'll relive itself.
Yes. So this reality show is really going to be about, sort of filming these ladies' lives. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting. How many ladies in particular?
They said about 10 of us in a
Right.
house.
Right.
I think that's too much, but
Mm.
I'm the one who's in charge. But yeah, they have different women, different from different cultures, and
Yes.
I think they even have a lesbian couple.
Mm,
Yeah, and they
mm,
just chronicle our life
right,
in real time. It's
right.
a 13-week show. I think that's what they're calling it, a 13-week.
Mm,
And we'll be dating, we'll be um, doing some of the things on our bucket list.
right. Wow, that's brilliant. But you're going to have the camera crew following you everywhere you go. You're going to have the camera crew in your home as well. Right.
Well,
Okay.
actually, no, it's going to be like an Airbnb, or it's going to be
Oh,
like
it's going to be an Airbnb. Right. Okay.
well,
So it's
let me just say it's just going to be a house,
right.
and we're going to be filmed within the house, and
Right.
we'll do activities, and they'll be following us.
Right. Okay. And you're all going to be doing something on your bucket list or trying
Bucket
to achieve.
list, whatever. They asked me what was on my bucket list. I want my own perfume line. I
Ah, wow.
want,
That's
I,
great. So you're
I
going to
want
start that off.
my book published, of course,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to be able to do some of the things that I haven't done.
Yeah.
Like skydive,
Mm. Yes.
water ski,
Mm-hmm.
scuba diving. Well, deep sea diving,
Yeah. Yeah.
and there's some trips I want to take. I don't know if that's on the bucket list, but
This reality show.
there
Yeah.
are places that I want to go, and I'm going to go.
Right. So did you have did you have, was there a casting for this?
Yes,
There was a casting.
and
Okay.
they found me on Instagram.
Wow. That is a powerful platform, Instagram. Yeah.
Someone found me, and then they found it, and then they found
Yeah.
the casting company found me,
Right.
and they shot me to the casting director, and they
Mm-hmm.
loved it.
Yeah. Okay. That's really brilliant. It's brilliant. Yes. So,
So the other thing is that we didn't talk about is that I don't have any children.
right. Yes, I know.
Children because I never wanted children.
Mm-hmm.
I love children, but I just never wanted any coming out of my
Mm-hmm.
body.
Right. Okay.
Um,
Yes, that wasn't a question I had on the interview list though, but it's nice that you're bringing that up.
yeah, I've never been married.
Yeah.
I am straight. I am
Yes.
heterosexual,
Heterosexual. Yes. Mm-hmm.
and I'm all for men, women. I'm
Mm,
all that
mm-hmm.
type of union.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay then. So today is Sunday. So what have you got happening the week ahead?
Absolutely nothing. I want to
Absolutely nothing. You're going to be
heal.
resting.
I'm going to do some steaming to get some
To
more of
get
this
the mucus. Yeah.
out of my body.
So
Uh,
what is your herbal remedy or your homeopathic home remedy you're going to be using?
I'm going to have some turmeric and some
Great.
oil of oregano, B12, zinc,
Yes.
of course, vitamin C, B,
Yes.
B12,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm going to just boil some water, put it in, and
Yeah.
just breathe
Inhale it.
in,
Yeah.
for about
Yeah.
20 minutes.
That's great. Your face, you'll get a beautiful facial steam as well as the
Yes.
steam that will go down your
Yeah.
internal.
I
Yeah.
really didn't feel up to it the last couple days, but I
Mm,
know it's something that I have to do.
mm-hmm. Yes. So basically you're still recuperating.
Well, I get a virtual visit twice a day.
Yes. Virtual visit.
Yes,
Can you
and
please explain how that works?
they check my blood pressure. They check my oxygen level. I check my temperature, and there's like a my chart type of thing where I put it
Yeah.
on and they can read it.
Right.
And they ask me questions. It's like a little survey. You
Mhm.
know, am I still coughing? Yes. Do I still get out of breath? Yes.
Mm.
And so they're just keeping track of my progress.
Yes. Yes. Will you be doing any exercises to sort of strengthen your muscles? Any
Yeah, I
gentle
do have the
exercises?
little glow thing. I'm up to like 2,000.
Right.
Um, it does take a lot out. They told me don't do too much,
Right. Okay. And that is just to strengthen your lungs.
just the lungs.
Yeah. Okay. I was talking about physical exercises like walk,
Well, I do some stretching. I don't want to do too much.
much. No, you've only just, yeah.
I mean, just going to the bathroom is like a
It's enough.
chore.
Yeah.
It really, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sitting down and
Energy.
I feel very comfortable. I don't feel overwhelmed. I got a little fan on me because I do feel a little warm.
Right. Okay. The great thing about your radio show is that you can broadcast from home,
True.
um, because our previous
Well, everything is remote now.
in conversation with, yes, everything was set up in your home, which is really great.
Yeah, well, a lot of the stations now are remote. Everybody works
Right.
from
From
home.
home. Right. They're not sitting in a radio station. I mean, yeah, I take for granted they're all sitting in these wonderful studios. A
Yeah, they're
lot of
apart.
them are there.
And as we can see, I'm in my bedroom, which I
Mm,
turned into a closet, a walk
yes.
closet, and so I
Mm,
have my office is here,
yes.
and I put everything together myself, along with a Zoom, a
Mm,
person, walking me through everything.
right. Oh, okay. That's really brilliant. So, what kind of music are you going to play this Friday? I mean, is it the operators who state what you should play, or do you have
Actually,
free
well,
choice?
actually, I do have a music person for
Right.
my little show.
Yes.
Um, it's going to be a little challenging now because he has to get the CD to me. I
Okay.
haven't learned how to download it yet,
Oh,
so
okay.
it can be in the backdrop.
Right.
Basically,
Okay.
it's just going to be in the backdrop. If I
Mhm.
once I get a sponsor, then I can be on for an hour, and then I'll
Mm,
to play music a little bit more independently of my conversation.
yes. Hmm.
But for
Yes.
right now, it's just going to be in the background, and there was no music this weekend because
No, I know. I know.
I wasn't able to get a hold of the music.
Right. Yes, because I wondered. I said to myself, uh, Sabrina is dedicating this show to life, basically, which I thought was interesting. I wanted to ask you something. What name do you have? What's your radio station name? For instance, your
Sexy
sexy Soixante. You're still
Soixante,
sexy Soixante on the
age,
radio.
nothing but a number.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So that's your that is your brand name for everything you do. So when you're an artist, when you're a model, when you're everything that you're doing, you will do it all under the
It's not Debrina.
no, you just do it all under that name of Sexy Soixante.
I know you love my name, and I love my name too. I just
Yeah.
want to keep
I
my
like
name
Soixante too.
separate. I want to keep it separate from the rest of the stuff I'm doing.
Yeah, sure, sure. Well, let me be cheeky and say that when you're invited onto the show, you do have you know, the authority to type your name on the section, and you typed your name. You didn't put Sexy Soixante.
Oh, well, got me there.
Oh no, that wasn't my intention,
I
my
didn't
dear.
even know that I did that though.
Yeah, when I saw that, I thought, oh, she's coming on as Sabrina. Oh, that's interesting. Does
I
that
have to
mean?
figure out how to change that the
No,
next time.
yeah, the
We'll,
next interview we have.
we'll talk plenty times.
Yes, we will. We will. Okay then, and you will be able to connect this to your Facebook because I sent you the last one. Did you? Were you able to connect it to your Facebook? You weren't able to do it? No. Oh, okay.
I didn't know what I was doing. It was the first time I got an interview. It was my first interview from the UK.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Well, maybe you can ask, your radio director or somebody. There's always somebody somewhere that knows
I'll
something.
figure it out. I'll figure
Yeah,
it out.
you'll figure it out.
It's like
Okay
a
then.
Zoom. It's like a Zoom.
Yes, yes, I know. Well, we've done,
An
unfortunately,
hour.
an hour, and what I like about our hour is that we're not having to rush through anything. I'm not having to panic question you. After a while, you'll get the message coming up telling you that you've done your hour, and then you will be cut off in, 15 seconds or whatever. So, is there anything else that you'd like to share?
What is the weather like in the UK right now?
Um, it feels like spring, believe it or not, even though we're in
Really?
November. Yeah, it rains, but it feels like a spring rain. We've got lovely bright sunshine.
Really? We don't
Yes,
have any sun.
yes.
We don't have
I
any
mean,
sun over here.
today when I went out, there were people wearing shorts.
Really?
Wearing shorts.
You got to
Yeah,
take pictures and send me.
I will. And many joggers. There were many joggers out today. I don't really like jogging in this weather because the cold air, it really impacts my chest. So I don't jog in this weather, And if anything, I will do exercises at home indoors.
Now, what
Yeah.
size are you?
In the UK, it's 12. I don't know what that
Oh,
is in the US. Do you know
it's
what that is
12.
in the US?
It's
Yeah.
12.
Yeah. But well, I'm between 12 and 14, depending on the style of clothing, depending on the cut
Oh,
style. Because
okay.
us black women, we have our hips and thighs, so yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'm a 10, 12,
Oh,
I guess.
lovely. Yeah. Oh, that's nice and slim. Very nice and slim. Yes, and I wanted to get into shape because I'm going to Tanzania next month. As a pro-age woman, for all you pro-age women out there, I've booked a ticket and I'm flying out to Tanzania as a solo female traveler. And I will, I'll be staying in a place called Dar es Salaam, and I will also be visiting Zanzibar Islands. And I'm,
I'm
I'm going to be
excited.
brave. Yeah, I'm going to
I'm
be brave.
excited
Yeah,
too.
yeah. Thank you. I've never sort of swam with dolphins, and I'm wild dolphins, not the trained ones, the wild ones, and they're meant to be very friendly out there. So I'm gonna. What's quite sad is though, all our swimming pools in the UK are closed. I wanted to go swimming like virtually every day to strengthen the swimming muscles and ready for the ocean, but
Forget about it.
yeah, forget about it. So I'll swim over there in the pool in the hotel, to strengthen my muscles. But yes, I'm so looking forward to that because that's my motto in life. Always make sure that you've got something to look forward to. Sometimes when I'm a little bit upset about certain things and I want to get rid of that feeling, I have to ask myself, what have you got to look forward to? And then I think about what it is that I've got to look forward to, and then I focus on that, and then it
Now,
makes
do
me.
you have children?
I have one daughter, and she's not a child. you know,
Oh, so you're a grandma.
she's
You're
in
a
a.
gra-
How
you're
do
a
you
grand
how,
you're a
how
grand
do you, how do you know that she even has any children?
you're a grandma.
Am I? Yes, I am a grandmother. Yes,
Oh, that's nice.
yes,
Have you
yes.
ever been married?
No, I have not. I have been engaged on at least two occasions, and I didn't marry the men because things happened, and we decided not to get married. There was one man that I was going to marry, and it was a very spooky thing because when I was dating him for 2 years, we even lived with each other for a little while. And I'll tell you the truth, I didn't know that he was an alcoholic. He lived with me as an alcoholic, and I didn't know. How he
Wow.
managed to hide that from me, living with me, I don't know. So it was only towards the wedding preparation that I found out, you know. So it was a very difficult time as well. I wanted to help him, you know, so that he could go to Alcoholics Anonymous and so on, but it was a very difficult time. And then I had to really think about, well, is this what I want? You know, so we decided to part. But no, I've never been married. And I'm actually not in a hurry to get married. And as you've heard, I'm flying off to Tanzania next month. And so I just want to continue having my freedom and enjoying my life, experimenting with things like this interview, the lifestyle blog that I started for women like me, women like me and you.
Yes.
Yes, and you know, and for women who are like me and you, but there are restrictions not allowing them to be like me and you. You know, I just think that, you know, life is for the living, so that's what I'm doing. Okay, so yes, so I'm going to end it now. Yeah, because it's counting down the seconds. All right.
Yes.
So I'm going to put your.
We'll always talk.
We will. We will.
Always.
Yes.
We will always talk. So
Yes, we will.
we will never be just a phone call away.
Yes. Well, I felt sorry for you today because I couldn't stop talking when we were on the phone, but that was because I was happy that you were back home.
Yeah. Me
I
too.
was like, you're actually in your home. Yes. Good, that's
Yes.
great. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. I was quite happy about that. Yeah. All right then. So you take very good care of yourself as you always do.
I will.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And
Thank you so
until.
much. Everyone, thank you so much for having me. And you will see me again.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Especially when you do your reality show and all your other magazines and so on. That's really amazing. It's really
Yeah.
amazing.
I'm
Yeah.
really looking forward to that part of
Yeah.
my life.
Yeah. Always have something to look forward to. That's great. So on that note, good night, lovely lady. Okay.
Okay. Thank
Okay
you.
then. Okay then. Bye. Bye.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye.